Hi! Hello, it's me, your mental illness! Hello, my beautiful people. How have you been? It's been 2 weeks since I saw you last time, and I know you are as surprised as I am to be here today. Today we've got 27th of May and it's Friday. Finally, after a long horrible week at work, we are starting Flosstube number 24. And if you don't know me, my name is Michał, also known as Michael, and this is my channel Star Parade. And in this channel I'm primarily talking about cross stitch, but there is a little bit more into it, and also I sprinkle in different crafts now and then, but it is channel primarily about Flosstube, about cross stitching, hence the name of the series is Flosstube, obviously, but you probably know about that if you found this video. You probably know what you're looking for, isn't it? Because not that I'm like popular or anything, but yeah, so I think I know what you're looking for. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for being here with me. I really do appreciate every single one of you coming back and watching my videos. I know I wasn't really, on the internet, on YouTube recently, but I'm trying to be better. But also I am giving you a heads up because next week I am going to Poland for a week and a half. I am if you're not in England, we've got bank holiday coming up, which is 2 extra days off, so I am joining that with my week worth of holidays, so I'll be gone for a week and a half. So I want to apologize in advance that there will be no Flosstube videos in 2 weeks time. I will try to post something in 3 weeks time instead. So we'll see each other in 3 weeks time, hopefully, if all things will go as planned.
Then do your video.
I can't.
Yes, you can. Stop saying you can't.
It ruins it.
No, I'm not.
Ugh. I forgot what I was talking about.
Well, watch your video and...
I can't.
Okay, then start over.
It's like 20 minutes.
Okay, then start 10 minutes ago on your last talking point. Do you not do it in segments?
No.
Why?
Because that's boring.
You can, but then you can splice it and make it work.
No.
Your refusal to adapt is your own limitation.
Okay, shoo. Well, let's start off this video by showing you my works in progress, because the past 2 weeks I haven't started anything new. I'm trying to finish few things before I start a new project, because I feel like I have a little bit too many of them at the moment. I don't like to have too many whips, because if I'm working on 2 or 3 of them at the same time, or in span of 2 weeks, I feel like I'm neglecting the other ones, and I don't really like that. So I haven't got anything new to show, but I have a little bit of progress on 2 of my whips, which is, well, it is something, isn't it? So first of all, I would like to show you the modern folk embroidery piece called Kindness and Fortitude. This is a piece, beautiful design done by Jacob from Modern Folk Embroidery, and it was inspired for me to start that. So the inspiration for this was Betsy's Stupid Tumor Cell. And I finally did enough progress on it to take it out of the rotation and put something else instead. So I finished this design just in the bottom, at the bottom, if you can see, and I really like the color palette and color choice I made. But I think I made a small, teeny tiny mistake, because this bit is exactly the same as those flowers here in the corners and in the middle, in the center, so I'm not sure what to do with it now. So I talked with my stitchy friends and they told me to leave it because it looks like it's part of the grass, part of the, you know, leaves, and looks a little bit different than the rest of the flowers, but I'm not really sure about that. Let me change the light a little bit so you can see a little bit better. So yeah, this is how it looks at the moment. If I will frog it, I'm not sure. Probably not, because it was quite a bit of work that I put into that. And yeah, I'm quite happy where I am with this at the moment. I might work on it a little bit more next week, but we shall see. We are flying out on Thursday after all, so I don't know if I'll be able to, you know, do a lot with it before we go, but you know, we shall see. I don't know what I'll be in the mood for, but I will be taking something with me to Poland, so I'll have you know, something to work on, you know, throughout, you know, evenings or anything like, you know what I mean. There's always time to work a little bit of embroidery, even if you're on holidays. We are all stitches, we know what's up, and I think all of us take at least one or two smaller, maybe compactable projects with us, just to, you know, work on it in a free time. So that's my progress on modern folk embroidery, kindness and fortitude. This is done on antique white Belfast linen, 32 count. And I really do love this design and this project. Second work in progress I would like to show you. It is How Does Your Garden Grow by Caterpillar's Cross Stitch. Me and my friend Chris from Chris Cross Stitch, we are both participating in this sale. He is much further than I am. I only picked it up, I think, in end of the last week, and I was working on it monogamously and primarily on this piece throughout this week and weekend of last week. So I finally caught up a little bit on it, and I finished the part 3 of the cell, and this is how it looks at the moment. As you can see, I finished the part number 3, which contains those strawberries, those I don't know, I think they're cabbages, I call them Brussels sprouts, and those gardening tools. So I was able to finish that, and I'm quite happy with the effect. But I'm not happy about the light, because it's really hard for me to show stuff. Let me just move them just a little bit for you to be able to see it. Oh, it's still hard. Whatever. Let's you know, don't mess up the lighting again. And I am putting this on hold for at least a week, or until I'm back from my holidays, because I want to work a little bit on something different. I'm not really sure what yet, but I will be taking something with me to Poland. I think it's going to be only one project, and I have to decide what it will be. It might be my Pokemon project, because it's rather easy to follow and it doesn't require a lot of colors, so it should be quite compactable. But right, next thing, it's haul, and it's probably the last thing I will I'll talk about in this video, solely because I don't have anything else to show you. So that's pretty much it. It's pretty much all I've got this week. But I've got a significant amount of haul, and the most, I think, important thing that I bought from a cross-stitch shop, it is my first Mirabilia piece that I will like to stitch somewhere in the future, and it's called Blossom, and I didn't know that they come in those beautiful little cards, and she is absolutely gorgeous. I'm not really sure when will I start that off. I've got the embellishment pack as well, so I've got the beads that should go with it. And I don't know when I will start that. I'm planning to decide when to start it in June, because I want to have my first birthday start, and it will either be this Mirabilia or Anchor Maya collection, Goddess of Prosperity. I have to still decide which one will be first, but I will eventually stitch both of them, so don't worry about it too much. So yeah, I'm quite excited to start working on my first Mirabilia. I know they are quite intense and complicated, but I think I'm up for the task. I think stitching will be not too bad, but I never did the beading part, so I will have to look up a few materials on YouTube. And honestly, some of my stitch friends already suggested that they will teach me how to do it. So I think I'm in good hands with this, but you know, there's a long way for me to start this one, but I'm really happy to add this to my collection, and you know, being able to stitch that whenever I want. Another thing that I picked up from the cross stitch shop, I usually buy my stuff at Lakeside Needlecraft store, it's here in the UK, was this extension kit for the Q-snap, which is quite exciting for me, because it will make my 11 by 11 Q-snap. Yes, I bought a new one. Basically 14 by 14 inches, which will be significantly bigger for my bigger projects. I'm not really sure if I use it you know, in the near future, but I think it's good to have an option to extend your Q-snap, because I really do love my Q-snaps. I love them so much that I decided to get a smaller one, 8 by 8 inches, and this is something that I'll take with me and my project for my holiday, because it is small, it is compactable, and I really love the Q-snaps, to be honest, so I'm happy to add that to my collection. It is an original Q-snap from United States, and it's a solid product. It's very durable. Q-snap, if you if you watch this, please sponsor me. I have 3 of these already, this one included, with one extension and this 8 by 8 inch. So I'm, as you can see, I'm quite loyal customer when it comes to that. But yeah, I love the Q-snaps. I also bought 2 cross-stitch magazines when I was on its shop, when I was shopping, and it has few interesting designs that I would probably, you know, stitch in the near future. It has a lot of minis, a lot of small ones, and they come with interesting gifts. One of them was this little fruit tags for the gifts, and the other came with this wooden floss drop thingy, which is kind of wooden. I don't know what kind of wood it is. It says it's wooden, but well, it's one of the cheap woods that you can, you know, laser cut, as you can see. It's one laser cut, and I don't really know what to use that for, because I never used one before, or how to label them properly. But yeah, we shall see what. I think I will find a use for that eventually, but I don't know. And that's all that I purchased in like legit, you know, cross-stitch related shops, like, you know, Lakeside Needlecraft or supermarket, regarding, you know, the magazines, blah blah. And I was fortunate enough that we've been to Ely in UK last weekend for a little trip, you know, to see the town, to relax and have a little, you know, walk through the city center, visit some shops. And I was fortunate enough to visit a charity shop located there, and it was one of the bigger ones, and a big part of that shop was dedicated to books, and they had hobby section. And in that section, I found several books dedicated to cross-stitching that I didn't own previously. And I found all that dedicated to cross-stitching. It was amazing find. I spent about £20 for this whole stack. And we've got here a Picture It cross-stitch book in hardcover. It was owned by Phyllis Richardson. But I've got it. If you're watching this, Phyllis, I've got your book. You shouldn't give it up. Maybe she died. Oh, that's kind of turned out like in a grim little way, and that went dark very quickly, isn't it? But it basically shows you how you can design your projects and how to be a better designer. It is designed in old-fashioned way on the graph paper. It is very interesting, and it gives you some examples of people, dogs, and objects that you can use in your projects, and some borders and other motifs. So I'll be using that as a reference, maybe for my future projects, to see how it was done previously and what I can do with it, or how to design my designs a little bit better. Next, we've got this cross-stitch and sampler book, and this shows a different origins of cross-stitch around the world. It's very outdated, to be honest, and it shows you different stitches and methods, how to do them. It's basically more on the historical side. And it has few motifs in, not a lot, about 20 of them, and it's basically a guide through the cross-stitch patterns, how the cross-stitch evolved and where it came from. Next one that I picked up is Ultimate Flora cross-stitch. It's a hefty, thick book. It has a lot of easy to follow patterns and interesting ways of finishing projects. It's all around, you know, everything is, you know, related to flowers and stuff. Like, for example, this lady here, as you can see, she is gorgeous. She is absolutely beautiful. I might actually cross stitch one day. Who knows? She looks very mythical, actually. And there's a lot of floral patterns, and it is a fantastic add-on to my collection. I also found this little village pattern. It costed me about £1. This is an old booklet, and this little houses, you have patterns for every single one of them, but they've been done on Aida. Now I would probably use a plastic canvas Aida instead of, you know, normal Aida, but they are absolutely adorable. And there's instruction how to, you know, how to stitch them, how to put them together, and it is absolutely adorable. And I've got something that I will be sending to one of my friends that might appreciate. I hope she will appreciate. Excuse me. Appreciate it. Is love. It's a booklet called "Love Is in the Music." So I will message my friend Kaylee about it and ask her, hey, do you want that? Look at all those patterns related to music. You've got what, mandolin, you've got piano, you've got harmonica, you've got what else there's here, accordion, and I think that's banjo. I don't know my instruments. I think it's banjo. It could be banjo, could be something else. But there's a lot of fantastic designs in this little booklet, and I think Kaylee would really appreciate it. I purchased that specifically thinking about her. I also bought 55 country cross-stitch charts, which basically contains a lot of, you know, country houses, farmsteads, and you know, farm-related designs, and some flowers. But as you can see, an English village, little sampler with little houses. So yeah, it is very interesting add-on to my collection. And we've got another book, surprise. It's called Quick and Clever Cross Stitch, and it is a sampler kind of do-it-yourself book. It has about 1,000 pick and stitch motifs, and this book actually gives you a layout for the samplers and shows you how they might look like if you stitch them. You can pick whichever motifs you want, and it gives you an idea how to put them and how to place them on Ada. And it is very, very interesting because it tells you how big fabric you're gonna need for that, and what kind of, you know, cross-stitch motifs will fit onto that. And it is amazing. It is a valuable, you know, asset for me. If I want to design something, I could use those templates and design something around them, so I don't have to work from scratch with it. So it is quite important book for me, at least. So me as a, you know, beginner designer, I don't know a lot about designing yet, and that's why pretty much every single project that I design, I need to model stitch myself to fix those errors. So hopefully that will help me with this. And last but not least, I've got Ultimate Cross Stitch Companion, another huge thick book. It was very cheap. It cost about £2. It has a lot of interesting projects in it. And my favorite one is this toy. It's called Party Horse, and he looks absolutely amazing. He is so hilarious. My partner said that he looks terrifying, but I think he looks rather hilarious. It's a party horse. And he looks absolutely crazy, like taken out of like a nightmare. And another thing I found just recently in my own, you know, town that I live at the moment, I found an embroidery stand. It is Elba's Posi lock floor stand, and it came in this little box that someone already took it out and someone assembled it for a display at the shop. I only spent £15 for it, on it. So this is how it looks, and it is not a biggest thing in the world, but it is wooden. It's a solid nice wood, and it has a little clamp. It is, you know, fully movable and adjustable in various ways. But the most important thing, that it came with the frame, with my very first cross-stitching frame, and someone's hair. Ew. Oh no. And it's my very first frame. I never used it. This is clamp-on frame, so I don't have to sew the fabric to the frame, and it, you know, is fully adjustable. Well, maybe not fully adjustable, but adjustable enough. And I'm quite excited because I never used a cross-stitching frame like that ever before. Normally, if you bought those two things separately, I will have to spend about 70 to 80 pounds. But I got it as a set just for 15. I was so lucky. You know, I was looking at this. I spotted that actually on Tuesday this week, and funny thing happened. I was looking at it, and like, I'm 2 meters away from me when I was looking at it and debating, should I get that? Because I was still waiting for my paycheck to come through, and it happened today. That's hence what I've got, why I've got it. And I was debating, I was, leaning over, looking at it, seeing if everything is there, if nothing is missing. Thankfully, nothing is missing. And while I was doing that, a glass, wine glass that was standing about meter or 2 meters away from me on the shelf just fell and broke on the carpet, like next to me. I didn't touch anything. I just was standing there. No one was around me. So I hope that me purchasing that didn't anger any old ladies that previously owned that stand and frame, because I don't want to anger anyone. But I hope this lady will forgive me for purchasing that, but I will put that in a good use, and it is not a big frame by any means, so I will not put huge fabrics on that or huge projects on that, but I'm quite excited to have something like that in my collection. My very first frame. I am so excited, and I have a spare stand that it turns around and it's very adjustable, so I am quite anxious to put it in my crafty room, so I'll be able to stitch in this room comfortably, as well as downstairs at my couch. So it was my lucky find, I would say. I really do love it. Let me just set it aside. Okay, I think that concludes my video. And it was lovely to see you again, and thank you very much for returning to watch my videos. I will be seeing you probably in 3 weeks' time. I hope you will have a wonderful upcoming 2 to 3 weeks. And I hope you're healthy, you are all the good things are happening at the moment in your life, you are relaxed and stress-free. I will see you next time in Flosstube number 25. Bye!